Okay, hello, hi, good evening, everybody. Happy to see you guys. Really, we have something talk this evening. Can you see the screen, Carrie's father?
Yes.
Yes, great. Yeah. Entry exam information and choose school and the scores which the kids did in the summer. We want to show that how is to analyze the score because almost all the test paper was bring back by the kids, but somehow a little bit from the test papers. But also I have this statistics. How is all the like 100 students who is a grade 5 in our school their performance? So something we will talk today. But as usual, some friends know quite well about the education system in Quebec. Some of you maybe still need to know a little bit more. So we go through the basic information. So now your kids now is like in elementary now. We are going to I think next week they will join the grade 6. And that's why they are actually after that they will have a secondary school, and secondary school there is a rank, and we have the good schools, we have some not so good, so we need to we want to try the no sound. Can you hear me now, Gabby? Can you hear me? Anybody?
Yeah, I am hearing you.
Okay, so Gabby said there is no sound. I don't know why. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear
Okay,
you.
thank you so much. Sorry for that. So in that case, we want to send our kids to the good secondary schools, not only for the study good environment, but also because they are going to the teenage time. They need to have a good friends who will be maybe their lifetime friends and will be impact their own life a lot. So that's why. So we go to secondary. After we go to the CGIP, then we go to the university and for the higher education. So, but otherwise, if there is some problem happens, then there is some student will drop there, especially from secondary. Starting from secondary 3, there were some students go to the vocational schools, and even CGIP, they cannot go to the good CGIP. Then they could go to the 3 years. This is also good for the 3-year program, CGIP. Then some of them will go to the job market directly. Some of them will continue for the university. So that's the system here. Usually we have now the system like here is like we have 6 years for the primary and 5 years for secondary and 2 years for CGIP and 3 years, some are 4 years for the university. So because the secondary usually for 6 years and the university should be 4 years, so they give 1 year, like this here is 5 years, with 1 year to CGIP, and the university give 1 year to CGIP. So quite special in Quebec, there is a CGIP, which takes 2 years. And the most quite important now is like grade 4 and grade 5. So many schools now they don't have the on-site exam. Some maybe even don't have an online exam. They just evaluate grade 4 and grade 5 bulletin. So many family already started from grade 3 to try, to have a good foundation of knowledge. Then they want to have the bulletin better. Like now, International School of Montreal, and also like the John Brebeuf, they want the score is very high, like more than 85% or even 90%, over 19%. So it's really challengeable for the students. But mainly is for the math and it's for the French and math courses. But the majority of school also have the study ability test, which is IQ test indeed. But we call the logic. So we merge it into the math to give the kids some ideas. So now after second primary, the most important is grade 10, 11, which CGIP, they use this 2 years score, which there is a few courses for the municipal, for the principal provincial exam, and the rest is the school exam. They use the score to evaluate the student and choose a student from based on this one, no exam. Only primary to secondary the exam, and also based, many of them also are now based on the bulletin. And the university, they also no exam, they based on the CGIP score, which is called R score, and which is more a little bit fair for the evaluation. So that's the system of our Quebec education. And now here, I think I already sent it to you by email, maybe a week ago. The exam date, which is like, you know, those schools are, they are pre-admission, which they admit student before or in the middle of summer, like Pension Salon Mahi, Regina Sempta, Saint Sacrament in Laval, and Notre Dame de l'Eau in South Shore, and Ville Marie also. And no exam because COVID-19. Before the COVID-19, I can show you here or later on. There is a majority of the school have, it's actually all the school have the exams. But now, because of COVID-19, they get used to no exam evaluated by the grade 4 and grade 5 bulletin. And those schools still need to have the exam. And very, very special this year, Jean de Brebeuf already closed the registration. The end day for registration is August the 6th. And this is the open house date. Actually, from the website of Elite College or with the link I sent to you guys, there is a full list of the information for the exam date and the open house. This is just a brief for the easy for you to understand, but try to, you know, it's maybe there is something not so accurate, but check the school. And but to give you a brief idea, like the September 9th, September 10, 16, 19, 21, they have like 16. There's a lot of open house. Actually, 16 also is a exam date for the Jean de Brebeuf and the College Laval. And so, but many schools also is open house the same day. So how to make a good arrangement also is important. But 17th there is no. So if your kids want to join the Jean de Brebeuf exam, if it's arranged in the 17th, that's no conflict. But if it's 16, you need to make choice. But if you really cannot go because of the exam, you can still there's a lot of information about the schools. You can visit their website and get a lot of information from them. Don't worry too much. So that's the brief information for this year. And open house mainly it's around mainly September, but some are different. You see, open house, some are early birds, like in August, the Jean and Pension Salon Mahi, end of August, and early May, like Mont Saint Louis, and June 1st is like Jean de Brebeuf. So they are like make the open house more in area time, like before summer. And the majority is in September, and a few even in October, because they have the exam first, then they make the open house. So the application is like, we already also said, the majority is application starting from summer, but some maybe earlier. Even Jean de Brebeuf, they already stopped the registration, and Jean de la Mannais is very special, which is like 1 year before. That means when the kids are in grade 5 in September, 15th usually to end of October, they make the registration and for the next year's exam. That means this year's the student who will join the exam for Chandramani, which is in South Shore, they need already registered last year in September and August. So exam date mainly is September and October. Like here, they're mainly in September and some in October. So, and the registration usually is after the exam for 1 to 2 weeks. They need to have the registration, and exam mainly, as I said already, French, mathematics, and study ability. We called it's actually is tested, the study ability tested the kids IQ, and we called it logic. So we merge the logic into our mathematics. Majority of the documents we used for the second entry exam, we combined by our school. For so many years, we try to use our own material because the normal material used by the schools of the Commission Scolaire usually not so challengeable, and so we want something like a little bit challenge and in a little bit advance, and be ready not only for the second entry exam but be ready for the secondary study, because I would like my student to be stronger student in the secondary too, not like, that's why many kids told me, oh, they learned a lot. I said, yes, yeah, you learned a lot from summer, but you will be proud that when you go to secondary school, you have something already knows, and a very, very good primary foundation. For the secondary study, usually first year is, the second one is review the primary knowledge. So if you are good in primary, secondary one, it will be quite easy for you, and you have a good start in the secondary school. Then starting secondary two will be the new knowledge. That time, some students will have trouble, so we need to take care of them too. And because all the new knowledge, they didn't touch it in primary. Then secondary three is a really hard year because they have a lot of homework and projects in secondary three. Then the student come to secondary 4 and secondary 5, which is a grade 10 and grade 11, as we said in the previous slide. The student will very, very like stressful, because secondary 4 and 5 is, will decide which CGP you can go and which major you can choose. Is like no kidding. You should be if you like now, because of the Bill 96. Then we have like Marianopolis a few years ago is always like 83. Is a margin to go to be selected in the science program of the Marianopolis, but now it looks like 86 or even higher. For the excellent school students classes, they need like over 90. And it was public CGP like Dawson, like Vanier, they need the score like over 90, which is really, really hard for the science program. And also for the human science, social science, it will be a little bit lower score. But if you want to choose a competency from the social science, which will be a little bit high between the social science and natural science. So we need to really like for even the secondary, for secondary 4 and 5. That's why we want to study even from now to be well prepared for them to have the very good foundation and be ready for the secondary. Usually, kids like this, if they come to a new place, if they are in the top rank, they will be keep it for the top rank for maybe the whole secondary study time. But if they are in below the average, they will be keep it below because they get used to. That's why at the very beginning, it's very, very important that to place a good place. That means not a very top, but actually the above average. That is good. So that's why we this summer we not like weekend. We just like add some like comprehension and writing and some for the mathematics and the logic for the basic foundation knowledge. But in the summertime, we review all the primary grade 5, but we add some grade 6 and even some secondary 1. So in that case, the kids will be quite ready to join the secondary. And you can see after in this semester in the grade 6, majority of our students of elite college will be on the top positions in their classes. That's so many years people feedback to me, and I know this is it's quite possible because they have a really strong foundation and strong. They have a very good knowledge already. So secondary school education is a key stage. It's a very important time that connects the past. That means they will see the primary and especially establishing an outlook in the student's life. As I said, teenagers are most susceptible to the influence of their, the friends in surrounding. That is very important because that time they also is because the rebelling mentality time. So sometimes they don't, now they maybe follow what your parents want, but in that teenage time, many of them, they don't. They really want to against you. So that time, who will be impact them for their life, for their study, is the friends in surrounding. That's why parents want to choose a good school because not only for have I said good study environment, but also have a good friends and a good peers, which also somehow good family background too. You have information there, like the good schools. Usually the income of the family will be higher than the other schools. So this is really important time. And also, as from 20 years, I talk to the student and the families. The friendship in the middle school, in the secondary school, usually is lifelong. So that's why you need to parents want to choose a good schools. Actually, at the meantime, to choose a good friends for your kids, who will be lifelong friends for them, many of them. So now, well, schools actually, all schools have their, they did a lot for the student, for the kids, but somehow there is also a difference. Like school rank is done by the Fraser Institute based on Vancouver, and the first report was done in 1998. That the first school in that report is Charlemagne in West Island, and after that, majority of the first is either one with John Brebeuf or some like 5 or 6 period top 1 secondary schools. So some years they didn't do the report school ranking because there is a lot of different ideas. You see, some of them said this ranking is no good because if you do the ranking, then the principal and the educators were more focused on the score instead of let the student to grow up in the health situation and health way from all sides, not only study, not only academy. So that's the something somehow, you know, there's a different view, different ideas. That's why they stopped some years, and even this recent 2 years they don't have it. And what I had is very feel good, like 2010, 2015, 2018, not too bad. 2020 is most recent school rank. For it's also good references. We have you see, can you give you some ideas? Good secondary school, we have around 460 each year. There is some different because close some or open new schools. So always the amount is different, but majority, like first 100 of all the secondary school in Quebec, like 448, 470, you know, all the some year different. Okay, like majority in Great Montreal, and it's more, you see, starting from 10 years ago, 2010 is like 60, now is around 70. So the rest of the Quebec, they have a little bit less. And from English and French session, you see, like 2010 is around 20 secondary school with is among the top 100 schools, but now it's come to like 17, a little bit slightly going down, and the rest is French system. And French system also, you see here, like the private from 75 come to now 56 in 2020, the last statistics, actually a school rank report. But who is going more? Because the English school is going a little bit slightly down, and French is also less. Then the public system is going up from 5 secondary schools now come to 24. 2010 there was 4, I think 3 even like international schools. Then later on, we have the Laval International established. Then we have Lucenta Still International School in South Shore established. There were no international school in the Laval and in the South Shore, in Brossa area, in Longueuil area. And also they have another one in the TMR, town of Montreal, for the Montreal Secondary School, which is an international school. So now they have more international school, and besides those top ones, they also have more schools to come to the top 100 because they add the public education system. They did a lot. They always make some reform and did a lot of good work, and the result is really it can be shown. You know, it's almost like 20 schools more than 10 years ago. That's very good. So now that's why, because they want the public system also want to keep the good student in their system, and it looks like they succeed, and it's really good. Because public system, we no need to pay the tuition fee. Private, usually we pay around like 4,500 tuition fee each year. So how to choose a good school with your student, with your kids? Now we know that many schools, secondary schools, choose student based on the bulletin, and you know, almost half 50% of the schools our students usually like to join, even more sometimes now. And actually schools still want to choose a good student because they want good student will make them better score in the school rank, and will attract even more better students. That's a good, you know, situation. But if it's not so good student, not so strong student, they will cost them less, lower of the school rank. And maybe some school like 1 year. One school I know of my student, they told me he has 7 friends who pass the exam and be ready to go there. But after the publication of the school rank, 6 of the 7 decide to not go. Only one student continue. But I'm happy he's growing very well in that school. Even that school also is a good school, and he was the president of the student union, student association, and just like last 2 weeks, a few weeks ago, he had a graduation speech. Is really, really excellent. He was get a lot of benefit from the school, not only from the study side, but also like the communication, organization, even speech. So sometimes, you know, you don't know, but I know the parents also give him a lot of help to push him. Actually, I got a lot of call. And whenever I have some problem or some hesitating, they will call me, the parents, and get some like comments or suggestions from me. But I'm happy that the student who is really a little bit not study boy, but also a lot of discipline problem when he was young. But finally, you know, after 5 years secondary school, he's growing up so good as a president of the student association of the school. Okay, and those ones, there is some like, so now the very, very important is grade 5 and grade 4 bulletin. That's why some families starting from grade 3 to try to make the study well and be ready to have a good bulletin for this grade 4 and grade 5. So now, how can we, what we should think about for the kids, you know, to choose a school, what we should think about it? I think firstly, the study ability, which I said is like sort of test by all the schools. They want to see how is the study ability, which means like IQ. Actually, is the strength of the students. Actually, in my school, we have like 2023. I will show you after summer camp grade 5 report, which I you know, we accumulate all the students, like 100 students for this year, for this summer, and I make some statistics, and I will show you and let you know how is your kids situation and how is your kids compared to the other kids for this year. And secondary, we need to know the school. Is the school good for your kids, or it's even a good school, excellent school, but maybe not so good for your school, for your kids? So we need to know your kids, but also we need to know the school. Then you know, your kids also you need to know. Some kids is this kind of preference or expertise or characteristics. We need to make a good match for the school. Some school is too hard. Some students, they really want to not mean relax or not hardworking, but they really enjoying the life. So if we put her or put him in the very, very stressful study school, maybe is not good choice, because her 5 years or his 5 years won't be so happy. But life is very important, to be happy life, right? To have a happy life, that's very important. So we need to try to find a good one for them. And the location is important, and also the money. Location maybe not too far. If the school really is so good for you, maybe 1 hour within, or even too far, like some of my students, they come from South Shore to downtown schools. They either, you know, rent a space in Montreal, Greater Montreal, or they in the Montreal Island, or they like buy another property or change the property. Then, you know, otherwise the kids have the one trip more than 1 hour. It's really a hard job for 5 years, rain or snow or sunshine too much, you know, too hot on the road. For the tuition fee, public is 0, but also like for the IB program, international school, you need to pay like 300 something for the IB program. And for the private now, is like 4,500. Actually, when I was studying my school in 2004, that time is 2,500. So almost double for the 20 years, but still is quite cheap. For the other provinces, the private school usually is 20,000 each year. Like here for English private school, you need to pay around 20,000 each year for the tuition fee. But for the French, because the government subsidized a lot to the schools, that's why the parents will pay less for the tuition fee for the kids. Then regarding the books, we left only maybe Jean de Brebeuf and maybe very few school still using the books, but majority school already using iPad. And the uniform is similar, and the metro, if the public system is you know, you pay some for them. Private and the public is not too much difference. And lunch also is not too much difference. For the activities is similar. Long trip also is similar, as long as you join the trip to maybe USA, or you maybe go to the Italian, or you go to the Spanish. You may be organized by the school, then you pay a few thousand. That's almost the same. So main difference is tuition fee. So the public and the private system mainly is like 5,000, maybe up to like 8,000 difference for the many difference. Like 丢学生 for that school year, they have an open file for $50 and a registration fee for $200. Then tuition is around 4,000, and extra curriculum costs is maybe a few hundreds, maybe like for the hockey, maybe for the music, for something like this. And usually each school, they ask for donation, and the student service fee and uniform, and study material, maybe you buy the books or something for a few hundred. For school bus for South Shore, it will be easy for the few hundreds. But if we're going to the ninth island, it will be more than 1,000. But those ones for the South Shore are the different cities. Young Earth for the last school year, similar registration with 200, tuition 4,500, donation 200, books 300, and you know, iPad about 800, uniform 800, and for the special program from few hundred, even the hockey is maybe more than 1,000. So that's the difference. It's, you know, you choose. If you don't, you choose a different school, but the price is similar. For the private, the tuition fee is quite similar too, about 4,500. But for the rest, also is similar. So the private system, the price is similar, but public main difference is the tuition fee. As I said, you choose the school, you choose the friends for your kids, lifelong friends for your kids. But also the difference, you see the rank. Now Royal West Academy, we just make this example. This is 2008, is a long time ago. The family income, the rank is good. Now the school is around like 10 to 20, it's really going up again. And Jameson also the good one, but the rank is not so good. The family income is like 9,000, 90,000 for that time, 2008. But for that school is 30,000. And the graduation rate is also different, 130%. And the score also is different. This is for the provincial exam. You see the scores. And this score also is different. So that's why I said you not only choose the friends for your kids, also choose a different family background too. For not kidding. Sometimes maybe it's you have the the close friend or even boyfriend or girlfriend from the secondary school. IB program. IB program, as I already said, we have Montreal and West Island is like it's St. Louis. Now we added TMR, we added Laval, we added South Shore, Lucente-Steel. So originally we only have 3: Montreal Second Internet School, St. Louis Secondary School in West Island, and McMasterville, which is only a small commission scolaire school board, facing only a small school board. Other people, even in South Shore, are not allowed. So in 2014, South Shore, they established a secondary school international. It's called Lucente-Steel. And we have many other classes, especially for the public system, to have the IB program. But like Jean de Brebeuf, they started in 2012, and Pension Saint-Marie, they have the program for the, I think, 1990 something. But they both stopped last 2 years. They no more using the IB program. So now we have very few secondary school in private use the IB program, but public system, they have more and more because they want to attract good students in the public system. It's co-ed or single sex. It's not too much difference. There is some difference actually. It's the feeling of your kids and the feeling of you parents. So depends on your feeling and choose. Exam for the dictate for the exam, quite special like Jean de Brebeuf, but I was told last year they don't have the dictate. But other school, they still have some dictate, like Regina now is no exam, so it's okay now. Some school, they, like Jean Manet, they have the exam for the dictate, maybe still keep it. Now, this year, there is something special. It's College St. Louis, which is an international school in West Island. It's make some change. From the website, they didn't announce very, very good. So, in that case, because before the St. Louis, they will have the exam. If you are not passed and chosen by the St. Louis, they will give it to the other school, which is also good secondary school public system, like the Source, College de Source, and Jean Van Trois in Laval, no, in Dorval, and École Secondary Félix Leclerc in Pointe-Claire, and secondary St. George. But now, if the St. Louis don't have the exam, then the system will be changed. So those schools, maybe they will continue in their own system to choose a student. So if you receive a letter like acceptation, then your kids are accepted and you should make the registration. They will give you the deadline. If you forget or you neglect it, you will be seeing that treated as you refused. So they will have other students in the waiting list to replace your kids. So if you really want to go, register it. Now I want to share some information with you because some of the parents don't know how it works for our system in the summer camp. So like mock exam, how do we do it? Indeed, each class of grade 5, we have 3 half a day for the French and 2 for the mathematics each week by the professional teachers who are teaching them. Mainly is a review and a little bit add on for their French and the mathematics, which also mathematics including the logic too. And each class has 2 mock exam each week, which takes 2 half a day, and 1 exam review, because after exam, they need to know whether they are good or no. So they need the explanation by the professional teachers in the exam review time. So don't worry too much. Some parents say, whether after exam, if my kid has a question after review at home, and can we ask somebody? Yes, it is. Mock exam is monitored by the volunteers because it's like for 3 hours exam. They will give them also, because they are majority of them, the volunteers of elite camp is the students of elite before. So they join us before they knows, and after our orientation, they knows. They give the student the exam mode and the methodology to the student to make a good exam. So that's the good way. And after that, after exam, majority the kids finish exam, they will give the standard answer to them. Then ask the student to mark the fault answer and give the correct answer to them. They will bring the exam papers to home for review. That's why we encourage the parents. I send the paper and the suggestion to the parents to make the fault, fault questions booklet, which I want usually ask our student to hand copy the topics of the exam, and which they did wrong, they didn't make a good answer, then they can put it away and do it again, and they will reduce the fault and make the better and better, have a better and higher score for the exam. This is very, very useful for a short time, improve the exam, especially for this season, this time. So exam review class, the exam papers explanation and answer questions by the teacher in the same week. So always remember, we arranged our schedule like this. So after the exam, we will have the exam review for each class in the same week, not next week, because always there is some changes for each class. They have some students have vacation and some students newly joined. So we do the exam review in the same week. Regarding the writing, there is a huge writings. The writings are corrected by the volunteers. It gives the student a brief idea how is their productions. And combined with the writing examples booklet, we give each student a booklet, which is we call the sample writings, which is written by the student previous years of grade 5, and we choose the good ones and put it in the booklet as to be the reference to the student to understand how they did a good job. How can you do a good job, good writing, and improve their own writings? So if parents here, that the situation, you might also help the kids better. Understand? Thank you. So how to find out your child's grade? Each exam have a correction with the standard answer by the student and input into the computer. We will record it in the computer. That's what I will show you after, because I correct all the exams for all the students. Some exams include one subject like French with reading comprehension and grammar and writing. and some like mathematics, also with some logic. Some exam, mock exam is a comprehensive exam, including French, math, culture general, and logic. So it's quite, all the things they touched, All the exam papers were brought to home for review by the student and showed to the parents. So some parents may really have a time to discuss with the student for the exams, but some students may be too busy, they didn't get a chance. But be sure that all the exam papers are with your kids and you can discuss with them. So that's really important. And we make some because exams in the each week we have two. Each exam questions are similar, but practice more, make it more, perfect, more like progress by the student. And the student also feel happy that they get stronger and stronger. We encourage secondary school candidate to build their own wrong question bank, and it also hope the parents can help their children to do it. And I already sent these ideas on the website and sent it to the email too, which is nowadays is very, very useful method to improve in the short time, because we have the exams now less than 1 month. Okay, now this is the statistics. I can, because some of the parents say, "Oh, I received this table, but don't know what's the mean." Let me explain to you. You see here, we have the exam. This is one exam is called French 12, number 12, including lecture, grammar, culture general, and writing. It's called production key. Okay, then the total, so here this is average for this line is average of my 100 student of grade 5. For the lecture, like the average is like 13, and grammar 40 is like 26. So now if you find your kids, the paper and their score, you will have more idea. How is my kids is above average or is below average? How is the situation? Then the second exam was mathematics number 12. In total score is 65. The average is 44. So the distribution here, you can see the distribution. Over 95 of the French number 12 is 6%. But for the mathematics 12 is nobody over 95. And from 8 to 90 is the majority for this one is 34%. So majority of people is within 80% to 90%. But for the mathematics 12, majority percent people is located in the 60 to 70. Is quite hard, difficult, because this one is made by our school and by our teachers, and they a little bit harder than what is learned in the school. But as I said, we want them to have some challenge in the summer and also try to be ready for the secondary. That's why. And we later, you see, like they will be better because this is at the very beginning. And for this one is called FMLC number 2, which we have 50 questions for French, 50 questions for mathematics, 50 questions for logic, 50 questions for culture know-how. This year we still have some student who got like more than 180 within the 200 questions. But more than 10 years ago, we have 200 over 200. Each year we have some student, but nowadays almost no 200 over 200. But still, this year we have some student over 180 for 200 questions. So that's the average. French, math, logic. And this is the number 13 mathematics for 50 points. The average is 36, and the majority located in the 70 to 80%. Is better than this one. For is 60 to 70%. Now is 70 to 80%. Okay, this is the number 14 of the French, and lecture, grammar, writing, the average and the total average, and the majority located in the 70 to 80. So this is the mathematics number 1 for 100 questions, 150 questions, and the average is 110, and the majority located in the 80% to 90%. So that's the rest is almost the same. You know, this is another comprehensive test for number 5, FMLC. You have the statistics from the different, you know, and here is like mathematics for 100%, logic for 75%, French for 100 questions, 150 questions, and mathematics number 15 is 50 points, and average is 31, majority is below 60. It's really hard for the student. And this is number 21 for the French, and this is number 14. This is French 04 and logic 01, and this is writing for number 2. And 150 questions for French. I see majority of the students, they have the problem for the grammar, because this kind of question, this kind of test is mainly for the grammars, and they didn't even memorize to understand fully for the conjugation, the verb tenses. So I suggest to you guys to ask your kids, try to memorize or to understand more for the conjugation. The booklet which published by the Becher a few years ago is blue covered, now is white covered. So usually each kid should have a book on hand. That's a very important book and very basic and useful. So how to compare your children's performance? So through our test score statistics table, that means this table, and you have it in your email I send it to you. And in then for all the students in summer camp of the second entry academic class of elite college, and compare the score to the relevant exam papers your kids take home, and with your kids now, I think, or you can see that your kids are great among the hundreds of the middle in the exams of the students. Also, from the feedback from the student and the parents, most of students have made progresses in their summer study, and they are happy. This year, I'm very feel happy. Before we spend a lot as a management, we spend a lot of time to prevent the games for the cellular, you know, the cellular games. This year, actually, kids I feel good. They don't play games a lot. I didn't spend so much because besides the study and the mock test, and even for the activity time, we make them to present a story to the class, and we go to the outside in the field, which is quite convenient. So kids are really enjoying the time. They no need to focus on the games. So this is, I'm very happy this year. And one thing I think also is because we are South Shore and Saint Laurent, we use the Vanier College, which is central air conditioned building, which is really good for the summertime for our students. You know, like once South Shore, the big huge tree was fell down and caused the problem for the air conditioner. I fixed in the same night until like 1 o'clock in the morning. But I'm so happy it is good, and that week is so hot. If no air conditioner, then the kids will be really in a hard time. So I'm so happy that this problem is solved in the same night. So that is something really I feel good. Generally speaking, most of our students of elite college can be admitted by the good secondary schools in their choice. So don't worry too much. Even sometimes you see the exam paper like is not so strong, not so good. Don't worry too much, because other kids they even worse without like help from the elite college. So, but I tell you, I choose studying. I did this job for 20 years in Montreal, and like some materials, especially for the mathematics, we divided into the basic one plus the bonus one, because many students feel hard. Like before, I have a student who gets 200 score for the 200 questions, but nowadays nobody. So things are changing. This is reality, because so many, the society, the life is changed, the society is changed, and so many games attract so many students. You know, some students are really so bad in the study because of the games, but what we can do, this is life. This is the, you know, so many games was like developed, and so much interesting. And I have some of my students was failed by in the CGIP and even in the secondary school. So be careful. In the secondary school, many students failed because of the games. In the CGIP, I have students even they get sick because they play the games too much and they cannot come out, and they refused by all the universities. So this is really now things are really different. Therefore, most of the students are likely to be admitted to top secondary schools after study and taking mock exams in elite college. Thank you so much for that. And this is really good. So now here is the open house date. Majority already announced the open house time. Some early bird, I said, like before summer, but some majority in September, very few in October. So you can choose your time to see the school you are interested or your kids interested. Then you can mark your time to have a visit. Especially for students, it's important to visit if they really like to go. When they have the question, why you like our school, then that means you should say the school is good. What is good? Then you say, if you have a open house, you visited, you know that, oh, this side is good, this side is good. You understand? Exam date. Many of schools, almost half, 50% is no exams. And this year, St. Louis maybe also no exams. Not like last year, they always have exams. And those schools, they still need exam. But some parent told me, I don't know the gentleman JDM what's mean. Don't worry, because we have the more detailed paper in the website, and even in the link I sent to you, so you can know that we have the short, you know, we have like SAC, we in the Saint Sacrament in Laval. So if you see Saint Sacrament, there is a for short SAC. CSM, Collège Saint-Martin. CF, Collège Français. Collège Laval. Mont Saint Louis, Notre-Dame-de-Sacré-Cœur, Regina Assumpta, Pinson Saint-Nom-de-Marie, Saint Louis, Saint-Anne-de-la-Chine, Montréal, Beauvoir, you know, Durocher Saint-Lamt, which they have a video. They don't have a test, but they need to send a 3 minutes video for their review. So that's the one you also receive it for even this paper, this table, and make your time receive it for the exams. Similar like a few years in the COVID-19, but really different with before COVID-19. All the school have the exams. Now many of them they choose no exams. Okay, that's a difference before and after COVID-19. Okay, so what they have in the exams, like Brebeuf, long time ago, but still almost the same, 70 questions for the logic, and 50 questions for the French. They give you only 20 minutes to finish it. Majority of students cannot finish it without practice. And they have production key, writing. And like 2015, they have like, because that time they have the boys and the girls, so they have different, a little bit different. Sometimes they have the same test papers. Sometimes they choose different papers. This is one of the one year of my student memorized what they did. So before test, they will give you a paper to write your name, with your name, and you know, they even ask you why Brebeuf is your first choice or not, and if why you make the first choice or not. Some kids said, no, I choose to come to make the test because my mother wanted. So that's, they want to get the idea from the kids. And they have 74 questions that year for 1 hour, and it's a multiple choice. Then they have the 20 minutes break. Then they have a dictate for the 10 sentence. But last year, someone told me there was no dictate, but dictate mainly test the grammar. It's, you know, because listening usually no problem for the student, but grammar is different. So they want to test, you know, because different conjugation, they pronounce the same, but in different time tense. That's why they make the dictate. But is let you know, you should, the student should judge which, you know, which grammar, the time tense you need to use for 10-15 minutes. And also French test for the 20 minutes for 50 questions. I said it's really hard for majority of the student. Then they have a comprehension and writing. They have no mathematics, but sometimes they say, this is mathematics, but may indeed is a logic. But there is no, you know, sometimes they combine, or there's not too much difference or similar. Young art usually they have French, but they have a little bit more time, like 35 questions, they give 15 minutes. It's much better compared to 50 questions, 20 minutes. And they have logic. They don't have a lot of exact time. They have 1 hour for students to visit the school. And usually they have the writing. Usually they give you 3 topics and want you to choose one and make the writing. Majority of them are imagination. Like, okay, like if I give you a special ability, what you want to do, something like this, you know. And sometimes you say, when I was like 30 years old, how I am, something like for the future imagination, you know. That's the it's interesting. Young art also, they have like, they want to write 25 lines, which is 1 line, if it's 10 words, that means around 200 to 250 for 45 minutes. And they choose from the 3 subjects to make the writing. Okay, then that's very interesting. And the College International Laval, now they didn't decide when they will make the test, but they have a quite interesting and special exams, and they give like mathematical logic also they have, and they have a comprehending. It's multiple choice. College Saint-Sacrement, which is in Laval. They have French. All the schools similar. Usually they have writing, they have grammar test, they have mathematics, they have, logic. So all the schools similar. There is some difference, but there is all the subjects is not too much difference. I'm happy that so many years, majority of us students did a good job, and they are accepted by the good secondary schools. And some of you guys now the secondary one or third one, and the first one they already accepted by the good secondary schools. I'm so happy to given help when they were young. So that's I showed again for the statistics. You have it at home. In your email, actually, I sent it to each of the family with grade 5, which is the second entry exam classes. I already explained to you. Thank you so much for your listening. I don't know whether you have any question to ask. You can talk, or generally say for the lecture itself, for this what I said workshop, you can raise a question, and after that I will get your permission, because some of you want to know how is my kids like performance. Some of you already knows by the test paper the kids bring home, but some of you maybe not. So I want you get the permission for us, because usually the score for the kids are private. So we shouldn't to give it to the other parents to know. So I hope you guys give the permission. Then I no need to close the Zoom and let you come in one by one. So anyone who have the idea to know your kids more, and if you have want to get me some suggestion for how can you choose the schools, you can write your name in the chat. Then I will search. I will give you some comments and give you some the kids score, and give you some comments for your references, just the suggestions. All right. So I will. Okay, I will end the show, and okay.
Excuse me, may I ask a question quickly, and then I will leave the meeting?
Wait a moment. Can I?
Sure.
Can I? Sorry, I should stop the recording. Okay, so I stopped the recording.